Hello students, we are going to begin with chapter number 7 for class 10. Subject is Science 1 and the name of the lesson is lenses. This chapter is a continuation of chapter number 6, refraction of light. This is again a very important chapter. This chapter carries 6 marks with option and 4 marks without option. The topics that we are going to cover in this chapter are lenses. We are going to study 2 types of lenses, concave and convex. We will study concepts related to lenses. We will be drawing ray diagrams, Cartesian sign conventions, lens formula, magnification of a lens, power of lens. We will solve numericals. Once again, I will try to solve the numericals in between as we are completing the topics. In the next part of the chapter, we will study the working of human eye and also the working of its lens. We are going to study the different defects of vision and how these defects can be corrected. We will study the uses of lenses and finally we will see what is meant by persistence of vision. See this image. The first image on the left hand side is a blurry image. That means somebody who is trying to look at the boy and the man in the image does not have a clear vision. But in the second image you can see that the vision is a corrected vision. That means both the images as well as the forest cover behind is appearing to be clear. That means the person who must be viewing the second image has worn spectacles. So, what do the glasses of the spectacles use? Once again, in the spectacles, the glasses used are lenses. Galileo made use of this object in order to see the distant objects. What is this object that Galileo is using? It's a telescope. And to view the distant objects, what does the telescope use? You are correct, lenses. A camera is used to click pictures. But again my question is, what is important in a camera? The answer is lenses. A compound microscope is used to view bacteria, protozoans, fungi, plant cells, animal cells, etc. So you know that we have to look through the eyepiece and the objective has to be adjusted onto the slide where we keep the microorganism. So once again, what does the eyepiece and what does the objective make use of? Lenses. We have a pair of eyes to look at this beautiful world. And what is it that is present in our eyes that helps us to capture images? Yes, once again the answer is lenses. So our very own body has lenses in them. So in this chapter, we will learn about lenses in detail. But before that, we are going to cover some basic concepts which we have studied in standard 9 related to spherical mirrors. Okay, we have learned about concave mirror and convex mirror in 9th standard, and along with that we have learned certain concepts related to spherical mirrors. So this is an activity based question which is given at the beginning of the chapter. The question is, the diagram is given to you and you have to indicate the following terms which are related to the spherical mirror. So you have to mark out all these, you have to do the labelings of all these parts if a spherical mirror is given to you. Okay, so in this case, I have shown a convex mirror. It is painted on the inner side and the outer surface is the reflecting surface. Okay, so it's a convex mirror. So we have to label all these different parts: the pole, the center of curvature, the radius of curvature, the principal axis, and the principal focus. So in this diagram, the entire diagram represents a hollow glass sphere. एक ग्लास स्फीयर जो अंदर से खोखला होता है, वो स्फीयर रिप्रेजेंट किया है. एंड दिस स्फीयर इज कट फ्रॉम वन साइड and it is painted from the inner surface. Okay, you know that whenever spherical mirrors are made, they are given a paint, silver paint from inside, and in order to protect that silver coating, an orange paint of lead oxide is applied on the silver coating in order to prevent the silver coating from wearing out. Okay, so the outer surface is the reflecting surface. Now if we take the center of this spherical mirror, this is a spherical mirror, and if we take the center of the spherical mirror, we call it as a pole of the mirror. If you remember, last year we have done all these definition. So this is the pole of the mirror. Okay, now since this is a hollow glass sphere which is spherical, the center of this hollow glass sphere is called as the center of curvature. So if you remember once again the definition of center of curvature, the center of the sphere of which the mirror is a part is called as the center of curvature. This CP is the radius of curvature. So this is the radius of the sphere of which the mirror is a part. So the radius of the sphere of which the mirror is a part is called as the radius of curvature. So this distance CP is the radius of curvature. Now this imaginary straight line which is passing through the pole and the center of curvature, this line is called as the principal axis. Now principal focus of concave mirror and principal focus of convex mirror. So this is a concave mirror because the inner surface is a reflecting surface and the outer surface, which you can see is shown in blue, is the painted surface. Okay, so light cannot pass onto the other side of this mirror. So now what is meant by principal focus of a concave mirror? In case of concave mirror, you can see that the rays of light are incident on the concave mirror. Incident means falling on the mirror, and these rays of light are all parallel to each other. Now after falling on the mirror, the incident rays of light cannot pass on to the other side of the mirror. Why? Because the mirror has become an opaque object because it is painted from the other side. So what will happen here? Reflection of light will take place. That means the incident rays of light will turn back or they will bend. So we have studied that the turning back of rays of light after falling on a surface is called as reflection of light. So these incident rays of light are turning back, but after turning back you will find that this incident ray, it bends and it meets at some point on the principal axis. This incident ray bends, it meets at a point on the principal axis. This incident ray meets at one point. This incident ray meets at one point. And you will find that all these incident rays after reflection are meeting at one point on the principal axis. So this point is called as the principal focus of concave mirror. So how do we define principal focus of concave mirror? Rays of light parallel to the principal axis and incident on a concave mirror after reflection meet at a point on the principal axis. This point is called as principal focus of concave mirror. Now if we take convex mirror, a convex mirror is having a reflecting surface from the outer side, whereas you can see the inner surface is painted. So the rays of light will be incident on the concave mirror and these incident rays are parallel to each other. So they will hit the mirror. Since the incident rays cannot pass on to the other side of the mirror, the incident rays will get reflected. So these are the reflected rays. Okay, but if you see that the reflected rays, if you look at the reflected rays are not actually meeting at a point. In fact, if these reflected rays are produced backwards or if they are extrapolated backwards, so if you pull these reflected rays backward, then the reflected rays meet at one point on the principal axis. So here the reflected rays are not actually meeting at a point. They are appearing to meet at a point. Why? Because those rays are extrapolated or they are pulled and they are meet at some point on the principal axis. So this point is called as a principal focus of convex mirror. So how do we define principal focus of convex mirror? Rays of light parallel to the principal axis. This is your principal axis. So rays of light are parallel to the principal axis and incident on a convex mirror appear to meet at a point after reflection. So this point is called as the principal focus of convex mirror. And if we take the distance between the pole of the mirror and the focus, this distance is called as the focal length. So the focal length of the mirror is the distance between the pole and the focus of the mirror. Again, questions based on previous knowledge. How are concave mirrors and convex mirrors constructed? Now what is a concave mirror? This is a concave mirror. If you take a hollow glass sphere and if you cut a part of the hollow glass sphere such that you keep the inner curved surface as the reflecting surface, but if you are painting the outer surface with silver and then with red paint, then the mirror becomes a concave mirror. So how can we define a concave mirror? A concave mirror is a mirror with the inner side as the reflecting surface, or a concave mirror is a mirror where the outer surface is coated with a thin layer of silver and then painted it with a red color in order to protect the silver coating so that the inner surface becomes the reflecting surface. Similarly, if we take a hollow sphere and if we cut it and if we paint the inner surface with silver and red paint such that the outer surface becomes a reflecting surface, then we get a convex mirror. So what is a convex mirror? A convex mirror is a mirror with its outer surface as the reflecting surface and the inner surface is coated with silver and then with red paint in order to protect the silver coating. So what is a concave mirror? A concave mirror is a mirror with its inner surface as the reflecting surface and the outer surface painted with silver and then with red paint in order to protect the silver coating. What is a convex mirror? A convex mirror is a mirror with its outer surface as a reflecting surface such that the inner surface is painted with silver and then with red paint in order to protect the silver coating.